I kind of want to play a little game right here, dude. So what we're gonna do? I got every playoff team here besides the Niners, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you, if you were like the Niners, I want you to just rate them, how much you would fear them when you if going against them. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right, let's do it. Start off. It's in a random order. Miami Dolphins.
Uh, a 6.
That's where I got them too.
A 6. I mean, Tyreek Hill's tough. Mike McDaniel's really clever. Vic Fangio, great coach, but they've lost like all their edge rushers. They're always hurt. They're
Mm-hmm.
soft. Who was not that good?
Mm-hmm.
Tua, last time we saw him against the Niners, was absolutely terrified of that pass rush. You could see it.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't inspire confidence.
I would have them lower, to be honest, if it wasn't for like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, because they could potentially
Mostert.
cook our secondary and Mostert too. I mean, they're all just so fast, which is so
Yeah.
valuable. So I have them as a 6 as well. Obviously, that would only
Mhm.
happen in the Super Bowl because they're AFC. But okay,
Mhm.
next, Green Bay Packers.
A 7.
Hmm.
A 7. Jordan Love is really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a first year starter who was I don't think people realize how good he was in the second half of the season. First half of the season, he was up and down. Second half of the season, I think last 8 games, 20 touchdowns, no pick, one pick. Um,
Yeah.
the team's probably a year away from being serious contenders. That's why I say a 7. But they have a young quarterback who can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
He can move, he can get out of the pocket, he can scramble, he can throw down the field. He's quite good. 7.
Yeah, I have him I have him at a 6. And for kind of the same reasons, really. Just I think, like you said, I've kind of said that they're not quite there yet, obviously being Super Bowl contenders, but they're that team that could kind of make some noise in the playoffs and then just have an even better season next year.
Yeah.
Um, I like Jordan Love, dude. He's good stuff. He's
Mhm.
really good. Okay, this is an interesting one. Philadelphia.
A 2.
I
A
like it,
2.
dude.
They
Yeah.
seem like they're I'm not gonna say trying to get their coach fired, I don't know, but it seems like they're worse than bad. That
Hmm.
they're dysfunctional. They seem
Hmm.
completely dysfunctional, and I
Hmm.
don't see Nick Sirianni pulling them out of that this season.
Hmm.
I mean, they've lost to terrible teams. They lost to the Giants and the Cardinals, a 2, and that's generous. You could say a 1. They're
That
dead.
is just, yeah, I have them at a
They're dead.
3.
Okay.
They are just because same thing,
Dead.
dude. I mean, I have them. I guess I'd have them a little higher than a 2, just solely because of the talent on the team. It's just there is
Mm.
still a lot of talent there that we'd have to be able to stop, and obviously, I think we'd be able to. Um, but like you said, dude, it's just a mess over there right now. They haven't looked good, and I think AJ Brown is he got hurt last week too, so they're kind of dealing with some injuries
He
as
just
well.
deleted all his Eagle stuff off his Instagram. So they're
Did
doing
he?
good. Yeah.
Oh, geez, like Debo
Yeah, they're
did that
good.
1 year. That's funny.
In the
Yeah,
off
dude, they
season, not right
in the
before the
offseason.
playoffs. My goodness.
Yep. That would have been, yeah, you're
They're
right.
gonna lose in the first round, Zach.
I totally could see that happening, dude.
They're gonna
I mean,
fire Nick Sirianni, Zach.
that's what it sounds like. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of things like that too, that Nick Sirianni's
Yeah.
time could be up there. Then I wonder who they go
Now
with.
that's a nice job to take.
Mm-hmm.
Would Harbaugh want that job?
Harbaugh? I was thinking that
Or
too,
do you
dude.
want to coach Jalen Hurts? I don't know. Maybe Harbaugh would.
That could be pretty crazy if Harbaugh went there. That would
Mm-hmm.
make them pretty scary. I've
Belichick could go there.
mm-hmm. Stay on
Huh.
the East Coast. There's so many head coach jobs open right now.
There are.
There's like 10.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to a team that this matchup will likely not happen, but the Steelers.
A 5.
Oh, really? I'd have them a little lower, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, they beat him already. They beat him in Pittsburgh. If they make it to the Super Bowl, that means
True.
that Mason Rudolph is real hot. But still, it's Mason Rudolph, so I can't give more
True.
than a 5.
Yeah, that's
It's a good
valid.
defense. Yeah.
That is they do have a really good defense. And Mike
T.J.
Tomlin,
Watt
he's
had 3
always
sacks against the Niners that one game. I don't know.
you're right.
George Pickens is good.
I could I could bet on Mike Tomlin out coaching Kyle Shanahan in a Super Bowl duel. I
Maybe.
don't know.
They already
That'd
fired
be
their offensive
interesting.
coordinator this year. I guess they're a little bit different than the team the Niners faced earlier this year, but I don't think they're good enough. They're not going to the Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
I would be shocked.
Definitely
Mason
not.
Rudolph.
Definitely not. Okay, Dallas.
A 6. They're
Okay.
soft.
Uh
And
huh.
they and Mike McCarthy isn't good. And Dak Prescott saves his worst for the Niners. They all seem intimidated by that team. Micah
Mm-hmm.
Parsons does nothing against the Niners. A
Mm-hmm.
6. That team in general is way worse on the road too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael Parsons does do nothing against us. And then he always goes on his podcast after and starts crying about it. And he's like, just wait, just wait. Okay, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I'm not too scared of the Cowboys. However, I do think them and another team, but I do think that the Cowboys in the NFC, I think it won't be a super easy matchup. I'd have them at like an 8 right now, just because they do
Okay.
kind of scare me. Because CeeDee Lamb is so money, dude, and I love Mooney Ward, bro, but I'm just hoping that he'd be able to contain CD because I'm a CD guy, like, and he helped me to my fantasy championship this year, so I was watching a lot of Cowboys games.
Okay.
Um, but Dallas is good. But we've proved to be able to really contain Micah Parsons, and if we can do that, I think we'll be
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Super Bowl rematch of 2019, Kansas City.
An 8.
Mm-hmm.
An 8. Best quarterback in the league. One of the best coaches in the league. Great defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's legit. That's scary. Travis Kelce seems like he's not what he used to be. You could blame Taylor Swift or not. I don't know. Maybe he's just 34 or 35. Rasheed Rice is good. And then about after that, they don't have much to throw to. Leading the league in drops. Darius Toney's just freaking terrible. It's the weaker.
Yeah,
It's the weakest they've been in a minute.
totally.
8.
Definitely the weakest they've been in a while. I have him at a 9 though, just because Patrick Mahomes scares me, dude. And I would hate to go against him in the Super Bowl again after what he did to us in 2019, being down by 10 with 7 minutes to go and completely seeing the Niners crumble and just seeing Mahomes. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's Mahomes. That's why it's like, yeah, their receivers are terrible and they've not been good, but I'm never gonna fully count out Patrick Mahomes,
No,
regardless of
not me
who's on
neither.
this team.
For sure.
So definitely still high up there. Okay, Tampa Bay.
A 3.
I have them at a 3 too.
3. Enough said.
Yeah,
Baker
yeah,
Mayfield.
not much
Yeah.
to say. Move on.
No.
Buffalo, Super Bowl. It would have to be a Super Bowl matchup.
A 9.
Mm-hmm.
A
Interesting.
9. I
How
just think
come?
they're a little tougher than Kansas City. Got a
Mm-hmm.
better running game. They got better receivers. And Josh Allen isn't better than Patrick Mahomes, but he's really tough on the Niners. I mean, he's going to take all those scramble lanes, and he's going to be really hard to bring down. And
Mm-hmm.
he's exactly the kind of quarterback they have a tough time against.
Totally.
9. Yeah.
Yeah, I got them at a 7. Same type of reason, but they obviously have not looked. I guess as of recently, they've been a little bit better. The only thing is about Josh Allen is how much of a gunslinger he can be and how reckless he can get, which can definitely work in our favor at times. Um, but overall, they're still not a team to be scared or to be like take lightly. You know.
Their overall net points this year is plus 140, which is, I mean, Kansas City's plus 77. The
Is that the
Niners are
best in the
plus
league?
no. The best in the league are the Ravens at plus 203.
Okay.
The Niners are plus 193 and Dallas is plus
Okay.
194. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that shows. I mean they're right. I mean there
Mhm.
was a little bit of a gap, but they're still the fourth highest differential. I mean they're
They
definitely not
lost
a
a lot
team
of
to
close
take
games.
lightly.
They lost a lot of close games.
Yeah, they're always in
Yeah.
it. Like you just can't count out. You can't count out Josh Allen because they have a good defense. They've got the weapons: Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, even James Cook too. I mean they've got guys over there. So, um,
For sure.
all right, Detroit. This is an interesting one. I'm intrigued to hear what you say.
7.
Yeah, me too.
7. Good run game. And the Niners,
Mhm.
you need to run on the Niners because they don't really commit to stopping the run. They're not that good at setting edges. They don't play loaded boxes. So they got 2 really good running backs. Jameer Gibbs. He's
He'll be
explosive.
tough. He'll be tough to stop.
Oh, he's really good. Um, and they have a really good offensive line.
Hmm.
That being said, their defense isn't special and their quarterback isn't special. And their coach, let's talk about the coach. That's what
Let's
you
do
really
it.
need to talk about. A lot of people like him. He might win coach of the year. What he did against at the end of the game against the Cowboys, I thought was extremely troubling.
Hmm.
Like he made an emotional decision.
Hmm.
It's fine to go for 2, not from the 7,
Nope.
not from the 7. And he didn't have a good reason why he did it. He just said, "Well, I said we were going to go down there and go for 2. That was that." Like,
That
what?
it's good, dude. I
Whoa.
I totally agree, and I was
I
on
don't
that
trust
same
him.
I was on that
Yeah.
same train, dude. And I think
What?
I think Dan Campbell is like, I don't know, this could be crazy, but I feel like he might be just trying super hard to like establish himself as this like ultimate risk taker guy. And he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go for 2 in these certain situations. Because I see everyone like, oh, Dan Campbell's style of football, he's the risk taker. Like, I love the way he's
Mhm.
aggressive. And it's like, you just screwed yourself out of a win because you tried to
What
be
he
too
was impulsive. It's
impulsive.
fine to be aggressive and to be like coldly calculated and make a decision, but he was hot. He was
Hmm.
angry. He was
Hmm.
mad that they called ineligible, whatever the flag was. He
Hmm.
was mad. He was on tilt and he went for it simply because of his emotions. You're
Yeah.
telling me he's not going to be in a similar situation at all in the playoffs? I don't trust that guy under pressure. Maybe he'll
Hmm.
dial it in, but right now he's a question.
Good point.
His decision making.
Yeah. Impulsive. Good point. That was
Like,
good.
have you watched The
I
Godfather? Have you seen The Godfather?
actually have not.
All right, never mind. Because
Kind
it's
of bad.
like if you ever watch it, it's classic. Al
Hmm.
Pacino, he's the middle. Well, he's the youngest son, and he's very cold. He ends up being the real Don, but his older brother
Hmm.
Sonny was very hot headed,
Hmm.
and he just wasn't a good Don because you can't be making impulsive decisions with the whole family on the line.
Hmm.
Gotta be cold and calculated. I
Yeah.
don't know what we're talking
Good.
about. Sorry,
No, I like it. Good call. Okay. All right, let's move on. Next team, Houston Texans.
a 7,
Off. Yeah,
a
that's
7.
good.
Like Green Bay, like pretty much they're as scary as any team in the NFC. How about that?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they're not a top 4 scary team in the AFC. A 7. Their quarterback, he's just a rookie, but you don't want to face him. He's
Mm-mm.
really good,
Mm-mm.
and it's a well coached team,
People
kind of
like
like the
to
Packers.
totally. They are. Well, they're super well
Yeah,
coached. D'Amico's been killing it, and I feel like people like to discount um, players and even coaches solely based on experience. When it's like, who cares how long they've been in the league? Like Stroud's a rookie, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like I think experience can, playoff experience can come into play at times, but overall, it's like let's not discount this guy's skill. I mean, he's been tearing it up all year long, and he's not one to mess around with.
the best quarterbacks in the league have had success against the Niners defense this year.
Hmm.
Burrow, Cousins, uh, Lamar. So here's another one.
Yeah.
Stroud,
Hmm. I like it. Okay, now this one. The Rams.
7. 7. I wouldn't give any team in the NFC more than a 7. Not a great defense to speak of. Well balanced offense. Not an explosive offense at all. Kind of a methodical offense. Not no real speed on it. Um, and an excellent elite quarterback. 7.
Would you call me crazy if I said that they were our biggest NFC competitor?
No, you got him at 8.
Yeah.
Eight's fine. Eight's fair. Eight's totally
Hmm.
fair. Eight's
Yeah.
fair. I wouldn't argue.
Well, it's just they kind of scare me a little just because they are starting to heat up
Yeah,
and
they could put up 35 on you.
they could put up 35 on
They
you.
can put up 35 on you.
Puka and Cooper Cup. I mean, those
They're
two
really
guys
good.
are they're really good. Matthew
Kyron
Stafford, they're
Williams.
well coached. Kyron Williams, like that
Mhm.
offense mainly is what's super good, which kind of scares me a little. They beat us in the
You're right.
NFC Championship 2 years ago, so I don't
You're
know.
right.
That Rams, I don't want to play the Rams. I'd really rather not.
Fair enough. Hey man, that
Yeah,
you argued that 8 well. I'm not
yeah,
disputing it.
I love it. Okay, Cleveland.
9.
Yeah,
9.
me too, man.
Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett. He's the one guy who matches up with Trent Williams and can give him problems. We've seen this team. They beat up the Niners. The
Mm-hmm.
Niners came in real arrogant, and the Browns just straight up beat them up. Knocked out Trent Williams, knocked out Christian McCaffrey, knocked out Debo. All three guys did not make it through the game, and
Mm-hmm.
that was back when PJ Walker was playing. So we've
Yep.
seen how that Browns defense matches up with the Niners offense, and we really haven't seen the best of the Browns offense against the Niners defense. Not saying the Browns would beat them, but I'm not saying they wouldn't. A 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you throw two guys at Miles Garrett, and it doesn't really matter. Like he will get through
He's
anybody,
so good.
and he'll get through Trent. I mean, there's chances where he'll be able to get through Trent at
Yeah,
times,
he
and
will.
it's scary, dude. Like going
Mm-hmm.
against that guy and going against that defense, that's tough. So I have him at a 9 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to face the Browns, and they could make a sneaky run to the Super Bowl, dude. Like I think if I'm Baltimore, the one team in the AFC that's really, really scaring me, I guess outside of Mahomes, but Cleveland, dude. I don't want
Yeah,
to. I do not want to face Cleveland.
nah. And you don't want to face Buffalo either, because say what you want about Josh Allen and his turnovers. He's brutal.
Hmm.
He doesn't just beat you, but he trucks the defensive backs on your team. He
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's them.
Yes.
It's very physical. It's very violent.
Hmm. You're right. Totally. Okay. And then the last team, Baltimore Ravens.
9.
Hmm.
And the only reason it's not a 10 is I feel like the Niners put their worst foot forward against them, and they still outgained them for what it's worth. So maybe the Niners could actually have, you know, a sane game plan and win. But still, that's a great team with a great quarterback. 9.
Yeah, I mean, I have them at a 10, and I think just for the
Mm.
main reason of just I'd rather not play them more than I'd rather not play any other team. Like they're the team that I do not want to face, and if we end up playing them in the Super Bowl,
Mark Andrews coming back.
yeah,
Mark
that's
Andrews
what I
coming
heard
back.
today.
Yeah.
That would screw us even more. I mean, listen, I totally think we can beat the Ravens. On it, I think we're the better team than the Ravens. I think we are the better team, the better roster at least than the Ravens are. But they do scare me, and to know what they're capable of absolutely mowing us over like they did on Christmas night in pretty much every way, a Super Bowl against them would scare me. So I do have them at a 10.